welcome to the mediatech Starts Pitching Contest. My name is 𝗙𝘂𝗁𝗪𝗲. I am the coordinator of 𝗙𝗲𝗧𝗪𝗏 Europe, and today it's the pitching contest of the startups of 𝗙𝗲𝗧𝗪 Europe. I work at Vizrt in Brussels, and together with our company, we have built a coaching program for media startups. And we did this together with partners spread all over Europe. 𝗙𝗲𝗧𝗪 Europe is a European-funded project that started in 2020. And since then, we have coached until 60 startups that have solutions for the media. So today, it's the big moment, the big day where we finally get to have a live pitching event, not online, not via Zoom, but live on a stage. And we're really glad to make this happen for the startups and give them the opportunity. So, enough about me, enough about 𝗙𝗲𝗧𝗪 Europe. We're gonna let the startup pitch in a second. I would just like to introduce the jury as well, because it's not just a pitching moment, it's a contest, and there will be judges and also a prize. So the judges are sitting back there. It's very important people, very important people that will judge you. So we have in the middle, we have Odd Gervin, who is the project manager of Norwegian Cognitive Center. Then next to him on my left is 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, who is the chief commercial officer of Fonn Group. And to my right is Peter Olle, who is the co-founder and chief innovation officer of Vizrt. So there will be and as you know, the prize for this pitching contest is a 2-year membership to the Media City Bergen cluster, which is a really big value in price that you will get for free. So that's really great. So let's get started with the pitching contest. I will invite the first startup's Sol to come up front. Yes.
All right. So my name is 𝗙𝗂𝗁𝗏, which is spelled like that. And our company is called 𝗀, which is spelled like that, but it's pronounced so. It usually goes wrong. And I'm talking today about a platform called 𝗙𝗂𝗃. So if I had more than 4 minutes, I would usually reflect on the rise of online streaming and the decline of traditional media. And that's a story that would touch on programmed versus on-demand content and passive versus interactive content consumption. But I have to skip ahead, so I'm going to come out and say that we believe that the future of media is real-time. And real-time means that updates to information are available instantly and also to everyone. And that's especially true for programmed and interactive content. So when we say everyone, we also mean two-way. So it's about both broadcasting but also receiving updates to information. And also at scale, so that when you have an audience of millions, it still works. And if you have real-time two-way communication, then that provides or basically sets the stage to inform, engage, and interact with audiences in very exciting ways. And this is what our platform 𝗙𝗂𝗃 facilitates. So you might be thinking, real-time technology at scale, is that new? No, it isn't. But it's usually very hard to do, or prohibitively expensive, because the technology options are very few, and the people that implement these technologies charge very high fees. And also the complexity of the applications that you can make is quite limited. And as a result, we usually see real-time technology being implemented in relatively big budget productions in media. So our solution, abstractly, it's quite straightforward. We want to make it affordable and easy to use real-time technology at scale. In other words, we want to commoditize it. So how do we do that? Well, we started from scratch. So what we've done, we've made our own real-time graph database. If you don't know what a graph database is, just remember that it's a way to store very complex data. And we also happen to make it very fast. We also made our own managed cloud infrastructure, which happens to be cloud agnostic, and more than 10 times cheaper to run than alternatives, and that's very significant. And on top of that, we've built 𝗙𝗂𝗃, which is a platform to power real-time interactive applications at scale. So what is 𝗙𝗂𝗃 exactly? It's a bunch of things. So it is managed infrastructure. It brings a CMS for interactive content. We have a customizable audience UI that ships out of the box, with which you can make voting and quizzes very fast. But we also have APIs ready to integrate with third-party software, like Results, maybe for graphics, like with Vizrt. But it's also ready to power your existing applications and platforms. And one example of such applications is the app for the Eurovision Song Contest that we made this year. And that includes a live feature, which is a real-time component that shows artist information about the acts that are currently or at present and would be performing on stage. And we added a new feature to this, which is a cheering feature which allowed people from home to cheer for their artists. And we used that data to feed to the audio team of Eurovision to enhance the audio of the cheering noise that would show up on video. Because there was only a limited crowd in the studio because of COVID restrictions. And this feature was used over 340 million times during the event. The infrastructure for this was scaled up to deal with 10 million concurrent users, and it only cost us 2,000 euros to run it across an entire week. And that's a big, big savings prior to previous implementations. So about us, we're a team of 13 people with 7 engineers. We are privately funded. We are making some ad hoc revenue, so we're doing some projects. And we're hopefully soon making recurring revenue for year-round deals. And what we're looking for is exposure in new markets. We're currently mostly exposed to the German market. For strategic partners who want to try very exciting things with us. And of course, customers. So what should you remember from my pitch is that we've built a complete stack of proprietary technology to commoditize real-time applications at scale, with which you can save over 90% on cloud costs and host it wherever you want. And we believe that Tally will power the future of media, which also includes the internet. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sol. Are there any questions from the jury for him? Yeah, you can stay here.
So do you have any customers now? And the users you have, what is their commitment to the company?
Yeah, so is it still active? Ah, yes. So the Eurovision Song Contest is one of our bigger customers, which we served on a per project basis. And we're doing that for several companies right now. So mostly we're working up to a single event for which we get a remuneration. And what we're trying to do is get our customers onboarded on a year-round deal. Because Tally as a platform allows our customers to do interaction very frequently. And that only really makes sense if we can charge them, or if they pay only like a limited fee for a year-round. So basically we want to give them volume and charge upfront, known upfront prices. But that's a step we still have to make.
And what are you thinking on how you're going to reach new customers? What's your thinking about that?
So we have a partner in a media company that's existed for some time in the German market that's been historically working in SMS and call business. And they have quite strong connections to many broadcasters. So that's our prime channel on which we do sales right now, which also gives us enough feeding ground to really test our hypotheses, test our product, and refine. Because every project that we do, we run into new requirements, new requests from customers that we just didn't think of ourselves yet. And right now, that's plenty. But we're mostly still targeting, let's say, existing formats, on top of which we would provide interactivity. But with real-time technology in a general sense, we can do very exciting things, which also requires us to sit at the table with creative people to come up with formats and use cases that don't exist yet. And that's the type of strategic partner that we're looking for.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Sami. There you go.
Try to put it a little higher. Hello, everyone. My name is Timo, and I'm a co-founder of SAMI. Our office is located in Amsterdam, and across the street there's a zoo. And the zoo is advertising on social media to gain members. And they do that with a small video with a monkey in it. But what if people from my age, male, living in Amsterdam, don't like monkeys, but they rather see tigers? Wouldn't it be great for the zoo to be able to advertise with tigers instead? And that's where 𝗙𝗲𝗍 steps in. So 𝗙𝗲𝗍 creates hyper-personalized video ads that really resonate with your target audience. We try to do that fully automated, so from beginning to the end. And we do that because we saw a couple of problems within the field of video advertisement. One of the problems is that it's very difficult to start, especially if you don't have experience yet in video advertisement. Often this is leading towards bad results, which can be very demotivating. Another one is that there are a lot of platforms out there like Facebook, Snapchat, Spotify. It can be very hard to manage them all. Then, like I mentioned, ads nowadays are very generic, especially video ads. Monitoring your campaigns and adjusting your video ads is very time-consuming. And because of all that, we came up with 𝗙𝗲𝗍. And 𝗙𝗲𝗍 is here to solve these problems. We make sure that your campaigns are starting with a kickstart. So we are reusing all the historical data we have from campaigns we are doing for all our customers and translating that into your first campaign. We make sure each ad meets platform-specific requirements and best practices, so your ads will perform right away. Then every ad 𝗙𝗲𝗍 serves is uniquely created for the target audience. And they are monitored by your goals and adjusted if needed. All the insights we are gathering from this whole process are being shared with the target with you via our dashboard. How is this working? Well, you upload your shots into our system, which are then being analyzed by our AI modules. And next, you will create your campaigns and select your target audiences. 𝗙𝗲𝗍 then predicts which shots will perform best with which target audience and generates multiple advertisement videos. It then monitors those advertisement videos and adjusts them based on your goals if needed. Our business module is that we generate revenue by yearly and monthly subscriptions. We have 3 different tiers, where the 2 first tiers are being capped on the amount of target groups you can select for your campaigns. There's a very big, every year rising advertisement spend market, and we try to get a piece of the pie at the digital video advertising market. We think we can manage this because if we look at the competition, we see competitors that are saying that they do something in the field of personalization of video advertisement, but most of the time it's only a change of language or adjusting a template. If we look at our biggest competitors like Smartly or StackAdapt, they do only that. And 𝗏𝗲𝗄, for example, only gives back the insights from the video advertisement. But we didn't see any competitor yet which is really changing the video itself. Next to me, the management team is existing out of 𝗀𝗂𝗇, which is doing the sales part, and 𝗙𝗂𝗀, which is responsible for the development. And we are at the moment busy with launching the MVP. We made 16 different modules, each analyzing the video content. And at the moment we have an MVP which is working with Google Ads. And we are testing that one with 2 companies in pilot phase. We're performing at the same time different interviews to get feedback from the market and validation. And we started with sales as well, doing sales campaigns from 2 weeks ago, so very recent. We are searching at the moment between 1 and 1.5 million, which is runway for 12 months. And until now, we didn't have any investment. We are paying ourselves from that consultancy we are doing. And we want to build up our sales and marketing team And what we try to do is telling the right story on the right platform to the right audience. And with 𝗏𝗲, it's right at your fingertips. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Any questions?
Yeah, the two pilot customers, can you say a little bit about them and the business agreement you have with them?
Yeah, so one is Animal Shine, Bunny J, which is a media company, enterprise company, which is acting worldwide, and they want to use 𝗏𝗲 for sharing summaries, short video fragments of their episodes on their own channels. And the other one is an agency which has like different kind of companies. So we are at the moment testing with PokerStars, for example. So it's, yeah, we try to have different kind of types companies.
Can you tell a bit about your team? Are you only 3 persons?
No, we are with 9 persons. So mainly developers from an artificial intelligence point of view. And we recently built up our sales team, and that's why we are searching funding as well to expand the sales team.
Can you give an example of what you actually do with the video? Well, just an example of what you do based on the input. What is the manipulations you are intending to do with the video?
Yeah, so we are trying to combine all the metrics we are getting, which are saying a lot about we as people and what we like to see, and then for the different target groups, and combine them with all the information we are extracting from the video, so we can see, okay, this target group likes this kind of video, and combine those from the data perspective. That will make sure that we can predict every time better in front what people like to see, and we fine-tune it afterwards by generating multiple video ads and chase them along the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Next up is Vplay.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Sebastian. I'm one of the co-founders of Vplay, and like many of you out there, I'm a big fan of classical movies. These masterpieces of cinematography have made history around the years, so I believe they should be available to everyone at all times. I personally used to watch these kinds of movies on a service named Crackle, which was a subscription-based service from Sony Pictures. Regretfully, about 1.5 years ago, Sony decided to shut it down because they deemed it to be unprofitable. So here's where we are. If we zoom out, we'll see that, Sony's example with Crackle is just one of the 10,000 companies out there that are struggling with subscription services when it comes to VOD. What we call this is basically subscription fatigue, right? Any household usually has around 2 or 3 services that they pay for when it comes to VOD. And if you look at the top companies competing for that spot, it's kind of easy to tell why nobody else has a chance. So we believe there has to be a fundamental shift towards advertising revenue, so from a transition to an advertised-based model. And the figures show us that between 2020 and 2023, the advertising volume that will come from VOD will triple, basically 2.5-fold, up to upwards of $80 billion in revenue. So this is where we come in. At Vplay, we really made it our mission to kind of build the tools that publishers and broadcasters need to create scalable and sustainable businesses around their content. Our product lineup is composed out of a universal video player and a server-side ad insertion platform. Both of these products are on a pay-as-you-grow or revenue share-based model. And each of them is built together with some super cool customers that use them. Our universal video player works on smart TVs, mobiles, and the web. It's used to, first of all, secure content and stream it to the users. Then we're offering a whole set of advertising opportunities to integrate within our player and stream the content. And then we're offering a lot of features specific to the broadcasting industry, like analytics and customizations that the companies need to really deliver a cool experience to their users. In addition to our video player, we're offering a cloud-based dynamic ad insertion platform. What this basically means is that we stitch the video ad inside the video stream, unifying it, making it unique for every user, but at the same time being able to generate up to 25% more revenue for that particular customer because we're able to circumvent the ad blockers, which they hate so much. Over the past few years, we've worked with all these great companies to kind of help them build their VOD strategy. In that process, we've delivered over 5 billion videos, streams, and ads, and this equates to over $150 million in revenue generated for these companies. How we're acquiring partners, we have a bunch of resellers that help us out, and word of mouth is a big play for us. We have a lot of companies coming in because they heard about us at a different customer, and we also love pitching to audiences like this whenever we have a chance at IBC and AB or even Bergen now. Let me wrap up by telling you a little bit about myself and us. Actually, we're a team that's been working together for roughly 10 years now. This is not our first company. We've been in the roller coaster for many times in many years. We've delivered software solutions for Fortune 500 companies, and right now we're just locked on video because we love the most hardcore technical challenges we can lay our hands on, and just cracking the video code is the toughest so far. So thanks for having me, and I'm welcoming any questions.
Thank you, Sebastian. Any questions from the jury?
What is the business model here?
So we have like two main products that we're licensing on the video player. We license on a per usage basis. So the more you stream through our player, the more we charge on a per stream basis. It's a very small fee, but we're talking millions of streams. And on the ad insertion platform, we do a revenue share. So if we're able to hit some marks of extra revenue generated for you on the same inventory, we take a share of that.
Do you need to install a whole infrastructure, or
everything's so our video player is kind of an SDK, so we run that on the devices, apps, websites, smart TVs. Our ad insertion platform is in the Amazon cloud, so it's a
yeah. But I was really more leaning towards what's the lead time from where you get the customer until the system is up and running? Is it?
Well, that usually depends on the customer, not on us. But it can be as low as like 2 weeks,
yeah.
2-3 weeks. It's usually in the months because customers, but we're optimistic.
Okay, thank you.
Sure, thanks.
Next up is Voxelize.
I'm not that tall. Sorry. Hi, my name is Alexis, and I'm here to talk to you about podcast visibility optimization. That is how most users discover websites today. They have an interest and intent, they go to a search engine, Google or Bing, and then they end up on a website. Same applies for apps. They have an intent, they go to the App Store, the Play Store, and they end up discovering an app. And guess what? It's exactly the same for podcasts. You want to learn something about marketing? You go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, you type marketing, and comes a list of podcasts. So what does that mean for podcast publishers? All media companies out there. To grow your audience, being visible is paramount. If you can't be found, you won't be heard, watched, or listened to. Visibility optimization is a craft. I'm sure all of you know about search engine optimization, probably about App Store optimization, and there's also podcast visibility optimization. And like every craft, you need some tools. Tools like SEMrush, App Annie, Moz, ℏref, and the likes. And what those people are doing for search engine optimization or App Store optimization, we do for podcasts. That's us, Voxelize. We do two things. The first one is an analytics solutions. We provide you with all the data you need to optimize the visibility of your podcast within the listening apps or listening platforms. We also run a do-it-for-you optimization things, where we leverage our own data to optimize the visibility of your content. Typically, we see 23% increase in audience of a given podcast within the first 2 months. All of that is based on a subscription-based model. For the analytics part, between 10 and 20 euro a month. For the do-it-for-you optimization, about 500 euro a month per podcast. Our team, two co-founders, Mine and me. Mine has 15 years experience in data gathering, processing, and enriching. He has been the CTO of a VC-founded company that ended up being acquired by an American competitor. As for me, a bit older than Marianne. I've been the CEO before of 𝗏𝗏𝗃, a Finnish company, where we were offering a B2B SaaS solution for data and insights. And before that, I was in charge of internationalization at Babbel, the language learning app. And in that position, I learned to reverse engineer the App Store and Play Store algorithm so that we could spend the right amount of ads to always be on the top of the rankings. Our growth, we launched our analytics solution on the last day of June. We've been growing steady during the summer and accelerating in September. We have clients of any size and shapes, from the likes of 𝗏𝗲𝗃, that belongs to 𝗥𝘃𝗁, a large German media house, to smaller startups. For service offering, we have more than 80,000 euro in pipe from both media brands and media companies and brands that have branded podcasts, with the likes of 𝗂𝘂𝗺𝗍 or 𝗪R1 in France. As far as the market is, it's a blue ocean. There's no distant alternative on the market today. We are the first one there. Let's enjoy it. Our marketing approach, it's pretty simple. The higher the average customer value or contract value, the more we can spend efforts in terms of outreach. So we do everything from online ads, sponsoring newsletter, Google ads, to outreach, events, and physical meetup. So we are taking off, and we're looking for clients. You have a podcast, you want to grow your audience, come and talk to me. You are looking for partners. You're a marketing agency, a consulting agency, a podcast hosting agency or company. We could work together. Come and talk to us. And we will soon be looking for investors, because we need more money to accelerate on our growth. And that's it. The floor is open to questions.
That was actually perfect timing. Exactly 4 minutes. Perfect. Any questions from the jury?
What is the percentage in increase in users, paying users, on a year-to-year?
What do you mean on paying users?
So you showed quite an impressive growth on the slide there. Are they all paying customers?
It's paying users. It's all. The growth was for analytics product was for monthly recurring revenue. We have about 18 clients today. We launched last day of June with a free trial, and that's so 18 clients, about 800 euro monthly recurring revenues.
With regards to your customers, are you targeting everyone from the individual with his own podcast to Spotify, or where is your?
That's why we really have two offerings. The segment is really like we segmented in the what you call the hobbyists or the influencers. So the average Joe having his own podcast, usually they don't monetize, they don't look at data, it's more hobby. If they come, if they find us and they want to put their credit card in Stripe, we'll take them, but we don't go after them. Then we have mostly the branded podcasts. We see more and more brands having a podcast as a marketing channel, as a retention channel. Those, they want to see how they rank. I'll take the example of 𝗂𝘂𝗺𝗏. 𝗂𝘂𝗺 wants to be #1 on fragrance across all the platforms. They're paying for that. They don't want to do any of the optimization themselves, so we'll do it for them. And then we have the media houses having north of 10, 50. I've seen people with more than 200 podcasts. And those we're discussing with more API integrations and to provide all data into the whole marketing stack.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Next up is 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏.
Hello, we are 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. We make people pay attention. This is what a typical web page looks like. It has many ads, but those ads are getting less and less effective due to ad fraud, ad blocks, and banner blindness effect. Because of that, the ads are getting also less profitable for publishers, and it's getting worse every year. An alternative? A paywall, but a paywall monetizes only about 6% of the traffic. We've got a solution that works with the rest 94%. How? We have changed advertising to 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏advertising. This is how it works. You read an article. There is no overwhelming amounts of ads around. After the first part of the story, you see the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. The content below is locked. The 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 consists of an ad, a question referring to the ad above, and 3 buttons to choose from. If you don't watch the ad carefully, you probably won't choose the right answer. So you would need to wait for 5 seconds. Because of that, random choice does not pay off. So you've got familiar with the ad, and now you can answer the question and enjoy free access to the rest of the article. No payments, no problems. What has changed for advertisers? Everything, because now they have 100% ad visibility, no banner blindness effect, no ad fraud. They have reached ad block users, and they pay only for measurable effects. What has changed for publishers? The profit, because now advertisers know what they are paying for, and they are ready to pay more for measurable effects. So publishers earn more, much more. What has changed for readers? Well, there's no payment, no need for registration, just a few seconds of attention to reveal free access to valuable content. This is how the well-known advertising model looks like. Very low effectiveness, poor profit. But when we change ad to Quest, the magic happens. Click-through rate ratio rises about 60 times. Also, publishers' revenue rises firmly. Effectiveness of our Quest Pass was confirmed in scientific studies run by SWPS University and IAB Poland. And by more than 80 brands and over 120 campaigns where more than 5 million correct answers were given. So we work in broker model when we run agency between advertisers and publishers, and also in SaaS model when we provide access to our system to publishers. So digital media can sell their advertising space on their own directly to advertisers for much higher stakes. In QuestPass, we work in best industry experts, also from Google. We have started cooperation with over 50 publishers. Among them are, for example, Discovery Channel and Ringo Access Springer. We are fundraising to strengthen our enterprise-ready status and to develop our product to enable also monetization of VOD and mobile apps. And our ultimate goal is to make ad quests as popular as AdWords today. Feel free to contact me so I can send you some case studies if you're interested. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions?
Yeah, can you say something about the competitive landscape in this?
Well, it's hard to say competitive because at the moment our main competitor is just programmatic market, so normal display ads, so ad form. But we are also cooperating with them because our other format is will join programmatic market. So it's a kind of competitive, also Google, of course, they are the main player on the market, and paywalls, because on the other hand, we are working for publishers to monetize their content, so like Piano Media, for example, and Later Pay, but in the end, we can also strengthen this conversion for subscription, because you can use that only on freemium content. So if you are paying, you don't get any ads, any quest passes. So still, there is a next reason to buy subscription. So it's even hard to say that Later Pay or Piano is our competitor. It can be also a cooperating company. It depends on publisher and their strategy.
What's your challenge when you meet a new customer? What makes them, why do they say no if they do say no, and why do they say yes?
Oh, the biggest challenge is to start cooperation with big media groups, because it takes a few months, because they've got many stages and you must go to this manager and to CEO and all of them. It takes about half a year to go, for example, through Discovery. Ringer was some kind of faster, but also a few months to go through. So that's the main challenge, to get the right people on time.
Can you elaborate a little bit on the business model?
I can go back, or I cannot. So we've got two possibilities. There's brokerage model. So when we stand between, we run agency between publisher and advertiser and or media house. Or the second one is SaaS model. So we provide our solution, our system to publishers so they can sell quest passes to our ads on their own for a much higher stake. So there are two possibilities.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, we have 𝗥𝘂𝗄𝗧. There you go.
Hello, so we're 𝗥𝘂𝗄𝗧. We've been working on this project for a bit of time now, about 2 years. And what we do is we trace the propagation of information to fight misinformation. So what is misinformation? So misinformation, you can see it pretty much everywhere. You can see it in the US politics, where there's manipulation about an ex-presidential candidate questioning the legitimacy of an election. You can see it in climate change, when there's popular celebrities and figures that are going to be talking about it as if it's still a hoax, or questioning scientific legitimacy. And you can see it also, for example, during the Brexit with targeted Brexit ads. So for example, this one saying that Turkey was going to join the European Union, which is false. And also this kind little arrow pointing towards the 76 million people of Turkey headed right for the UK. And then also you have deepfakes, which are coming up, where we have an increasingly complex problem of being able to assess whether or not a video is going to be a source of truth or not. So what is our solution to this problem? So what we're doing is we're taking a different approach from what already exists. We're not going to do fact-checking. What we're going to be interested in is the propagation of information on the internet. We're going to see how information propagates itself, and we're going to make clusters out of this, and we're going to establish, and the idea is basically to say, if information is being relayed by a bunch of different media platforms, it starts acquiring more and more credibility depending on the popularity of these platforms. So for example, this is a screenshot of our data today, where we're creating clusters in real time, seeing what's being posted on the internet and how information is propagating itself. So our team, just to go quickly over this, so hello, I'm Terrence, I'm the CEO. My objective here in this company is taking care of company vision and business management. Matthias is our excellent CTO, data scientist, and blockchain engineer, so he takes care of everything that's AI right now. And Damien is taking care of Web3 and product management. We're 3 engineers issued getting out of French school about like 2 or 3 years ago. So our go-to-market strategy, we're starting off with virality predictions. As we're analyzing the propagation of information, we're also analyzing the speed at which information propagates itself. And these metrics are extremely interesting for traders, investors, journalists, to be able to see the virality trends as they are growing on the internet, as information is actually being aggregated to internet. We are also going to work towards trend analysis a little bit later. We'd like to be able to pitch our application to political campaign managers for the French elections of May 2022, for example, but also for governments later on to be able to analyze how information propagates itself with regards to subjects like vaccine rollout for COVID. And then finally, our ultimate goal is being able to sell real-time trust scores to popular and rising platforms so that people can be critical with regards to the information that they interact with. Our competition, so as I mentioned, we don't do fact-checking. What we really do is we just trace the propagation of information. That's really what makes us different from the rest of the competition. We are plug and play, so we can embed ourselves directly inside the systems. This is extremely important because studies show that people don't fact-check their information for the most part. You're going to get your information off Twitter, and then if it aligns with what you think politically, you're just going to reshare it. Sometimes you don't even click on the headline. You just look at the headline and you reshare it according to that. So it's really important to be plug and play. And then finally, we're transparent. This is a community-based approach where the community is being rewarded with money, so they have an economic incentive to actually work for us. And everything is transparent and traceable. You can interact with the system. All the code is open source to reinforce the neutrality and trustworthiness of our system. And that's pretty much it for me. So yeah, I'll take your questions.
What is your sales strategy here?
So sales strategy, we're first working on the virality predictions. So this is the first part of the tech, which we need to create anyways, and we're going to be selling this, as I mentioned, to traders, investors, and journalists. This is an application that's going to be available on your phone with probably a free trial to begin with, and then a paying subscription if you want to continue with the service. And this allows you to trace information cross-platform, which means on Twitter, on Reddit, on whatever you want, whatever type of platform you want.
I'm not sure, the virality thing I think I can grasp a little bit, but what you talk about trust score, what has that got to do with that?
The trust scores, so this is the part where I was showing the go-to-market strategy. That's our long-term goal.
Okay.
We need to be able to scale up. This is actually what makes the strength of our solution is that we can scale up, whereas other competitors like Snopes, for example, have a hard time scaling up because they have a journalistic approach, which is often opaque as well, where you fact-check information, and they're also that are pay-to-play.
So your main part now, that is the virality prediction part, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the virality prediction is just the first part of the tech, and then we're going to be building on from that towards the trust scores.
Yeah, and what does that got to do? Deepfake, is that also far in the future, or what?
So the way we proceed is, as soon as we trace the propagation of information, deepfakes are going to be interesting because we're going to be able to see where they're being relayed. What are the journalists, for example, that are relaying these deepfakes? So our system inherently relies on journalism without being a journalistic institution.
So you would thrive off fake news?
I'm sorry, what?
Fake news is good for your business.
Well, I mean, we're trying to fight it. We're not trying to make it.
Doesn't sound like it, but yeah.
Well, yeah. Then perhaps I haven't expressed myself correctly, but no, we're trying to fight misinformation.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And last up before the break, there is X News.
Good afternoon. My name is Andy, and I'm the CEO of an Austrian company called X News. We built a real-time research application, what customers call on steroids. Our customers come from 4 markets: media and entertainment, corporate, government, and education. Those are some of our customers that we can mention: public broadcasters, universities, but also governments. The problem is this: too many places to check for validation. Our solution: everything in one place on any internet-connected device. So your journey starts at home, can continue in the car, you can always stay on top of your story that you're interested in. The benefits, simply explained, up to 90% speed increase. Only application that tells you what's trending inside your stories. And of course, sources. You can receive from our premium search matching articles that we crawl every day, 2.5 to 3.5 million per day. And of course, personalization. You can sort by personal relevance. You can do a fact check, create, collaborate, and publish from within one application. You receive, of course, alerts if something happens that is relevant to your topic of interest. And it's integrated with third-party systems. The business model: $960 per user per year, including support, maintenance, and updates, plus optional packages that are protecting our large user base. The potential, when we look at the spendings that are published by Fortune Business Insight 21, is currently 13.5 annual, growing to 40 in the next couple of years. Our core market gives us a $3 billion market potential, and this is the first goal to reach. Competition. We see that. Social listening, web crawling, other siloed environments. X News is different. The customer has the freedom of operation in-house or in the cloud of choice, and also can connect their internal, their contracted, and their communications sources into the platform. Those are our current go-to-market strategies, and I would be delighted to have Peter and others on our partners, right? So global partnerships and regional and national experts. We're asking for an investment to grow the team, but that's the team that will protect the success. And of course, we have a great advisory board with an international track record. Let me tell you one story at the end, and I got a couple of seconds. How can you make a journalist in a training session with you jump out of the room? Did you do something wrong? No. They got back 10 minutes later because they spotted something and they needed to get it on air. Thank you.
Questions from the jury?
What do you see as the biggest commercial challenge to meet your commercial goals?
Quite simple. At the moment, we are currently depending on an indirect-only sales channel, which limits us to the markets our partners are. With the own sales team that we are trying to raise the money for now, we want to go after the EYs, PwCs, and all of them in order of multiplying and scaling. That's the biggest challenge at the moment.
We have known each other for a long time, so you've been at it for a long time as well. How has the revenue part gone?
You know, you have to black out 2020, of course, right?
Sure.
But in the years, we doubled up until 2019, then 2020 came, and this year seems to be the first profitable year.
Okay. Yeah.
So, taking up again.
Thank you. Awesome. Hello, welcome back. I hope you had some nice refreshments and enjoyed the food. So we're going to continue, and the next startup that is going to come pitch is 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Lars. I'm the co-founder and CEO of 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. In 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, we're solving one of the biggest problems in media today, creator monetization. And we firmly believe that the future of creator monetization relies on co-creation and co-monetization. And creator monetization is a true problem. Only 2% of creators out there make minimum wage. That's Twitch streamers, people on Spotify, even on like Patreon and OnlyFans. It's never been easier to create, but it's still really, really hard to monetize. So creators are now shifting to new monetization models, specifically blockchain. But that's really hard. And the key to creator monetization, we believe, is fandom. To give creators and fans a true connection, to play together, to create this new metaverse of digital experiences. And why is 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 now positioned to solve this problem? This is because we view play as the experience where creators, fans, and content intersect. Play is a community. Play is a platform. Play is where monetization happens. And we're going about solving this by empowering anyone to build and host their own NFT storefront, to build interactive programmable NFTs together with their fans and monetize this together. And anyone can now receive crypto payments, crypto subscriptions in a mobile native dApp and a web dApp. And this will be a social space for creators, fans, and their content to intersect, where they can co-create and monetize together. And the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 dApp will launch in November. It will be a place where any creator can bring in their online content from Web 2, Web 3, live streams from Twitch. They can link in tweets. They can give access to their Discord, all through programmable NFTs that can be built by creators and their fans together, sharing the monetization as it trickles down and spreads out across the internet. And we will reward anyone. So we're running a play-to-earn model. So anyone just watching video, playing video in our app, will earn tokens, which they can utilize to buy access to more content from their favorite creators, or sell them on an exchange. And we're working with 2D video today, but we believe the future of video is multidimensional. And our core patented playback technology is specifically made for this scenario, to remix and merge the creation and playback experience into one playback experience. So anyone will be elevated from a pure viewer to prosumer simply by touching and playing with the content. We already started experimenting with the new content types like 360 video, volumetric video, And we want to be that meeting place for content, fans, and creators to interact. We've just started our initial token raise to fund this project. We've doubled our team in the last couple of weeks. We've brought in really experienced people managing products like the mobile app from Spotify. And we're raising, our first round has closed now, so we raised about $700,000 the last 2 weeks. The next rounds will start the next coming weeks. And I invite you all, come meet me after this. I'll put the future video in your hands so you can try it for yourself. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions from the jury?
Do you have any, do you have a user group? Do you have users using the app now, or is it not there yet?
So, the history of movie, we built this new video technology because we wanted to touch, play, and create video in real time. We took this to market on a B2B licensing model with big broadcasters in Asia, Europe, US, but we saw that the world that we want to change, or that we want to make, is not compatible with current licensing models, legacy ways of building media distribution. This is where Web3 comes in. So we believe the way to change the world in our direction is to go directly now to the market of creators and enable them to do this directly without any intermediaries. So yeah, the app is launching in November, but we have the core technology, and we already have a set of tribal leaders, community leaders, that desperately want to build this kind of experience for their community. They don't want to give the content to Facebook or YouTube, and they want to own it, they want to control monetization, but mostly importantly, they want to have new ways to interact with their fans.
Maybe two questions. One is, how are you going to bootstrap? I guess the success here is tightly coupled to the number of users you can get. And then how do you want to kickstart this part? And the content that's being created, can that only be viewed on your platform, or can it where? Yeah.
Two great questions. So first of all, we are bootstrapping, or the key ingredient in our sort of chemical reaction here is the creators. We need creators to bring their content and their fans. Creators can link existing content, live streams from Twitch, videos from YouTube, tweets, Discord, any existing Web 2 or Web 3 content can be brought into our platform just by pointing your links. Second question.
Yeah, is the viewing of the end result. Yes.
The end result, yeah, the end result can be transcoded in our app, exported to Facebook, YouTube, wherever, and bring more people back to the app. But part of our video technology enables us to script a composition of any media from any source and play it in real time in our app. Mm-hmm. So you can have more functionality in our player than, for instance, on Facebook, where it would be a flat video.
Mm.
Okay, thank you. Next up is Circular.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. So today you might wonder what I'm doing with these headphones on my neck.
Bye.
So that's something, it happens. This is a headphone speaker. So we're a startup, we started with a big problem. So there is a safety problem, and the #1 reason worldwide of accidents in micromobility in Europe and United States is people wearing headphones on the ears. Mostly, in most of the cities in Europe and United States and Australia, is not allowed to use headphones. So back in the days, 4 years ago, I was one of the first micromobility users in Barcelona. And police stopped me first day I was using the headphones, and they said, you cannot use the headphones. After 6 months, there was a law, and this law is like you have to pay €250 if you wear headphones. It's not happening here, but it is starting to happen worldwide. So what we realize is that this is an amazing time for listening to music, to enjoy podcasts, etc., when you're commuting from home to work. And that's why we thought about creating a solution for these. So making an hybrid device, we call it neck phones. And with the neck phones, you're allowed to turn it into headphones. So you can use it as a regular headphones and then turn it into neck phones. So we launched first, so we call it, we're sound wearables, and we're creating a new category which is called the neck phones. And we're also using our proprietary software with artificial intelligence, so we can direct the sound to your ears and not bothering people around you. That was our first MVP. We launched on Kickstarter. We validated the product with our team. So I'm Enoch. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've been always developing since like over 10 years different startups. We have different team members. We have an amazing team of investors coming from the field. Recently, also Bang & Olufsen, ex-CTO, joined our team. And we have Peter Chapman, probably one of the biggest experts in electroacoustics in the world, coming from Harman Kardon, and that when we joined SoundHub in Denmark. So we also realized, like, you want to be, you want to wear cool when you go around the city. And one of the main things is that if you don't have a cool product, you're not going to use it. And we also find that there is a huge potential for personalization on these products. And we realized, like, AirPads can be interchangeable. This can be a benefit. It's more sustainable when they get old. And then also in winter, when it gets cold, you can use it around your neck with different materials like wool, etc. So with our app, what we're enabling is for people to go with their bicycle, for example. And what is happening here, that you will listen to music or whatever.
Hi, Bluetooth mode.
As you can see.
Bluetooth connected.
So we're enabling people to listen legally and safely with the directional sound. We're launching a Kickstarter in February 2022, so in just a few months. And what we have developed, and we have the patent application on the directional sound. So you will be able to listen the music and make calls, etc., directly to your ears without bothering people around. This is probably one of, we compare to the noise canceling technology. So it's quite advanced technology where we're applying with different patents. Further than this, we see that mobility industry is growing a lot. So there's a huge potential for advertisers to use our devices to make partnerships and to be using this time when we are commuting, that we are more receptive to get information, especially through audio. So as you can see, we have different models. We have huge companies which we're competing, but we're failing different patents. So we believe, like, we want to be the first big player in the market and lead the transition, especially for the commuting people, which is a lot of people, and not with different devices, with one single device with high quality sound. So far, as I mentioned, we launched a Kickstarter. We got an exceptional 46% cross-selling with different accessories. We won 7 international awards in Europe, 𝗙𝗂𝗄 in Germany, and O2 Telecom, and also the South by Southwest Tech for Entertainment in the United States. So we also joined different accelerators, and recently we signed an agreement with Warner Music, so we can launch the product, as you know, with some celebrities and bloggers and influencers, which is quite important nowadays. Our business model, so we have the hard tech, so we sell the product, we have the accessories, and we also have the software. So through the software, we also have the non-invasive sound. We can also sell and license these to different companies. So these are the financials. So we launched a previous Kickstarter, so we already know the metrics and the conversion rate. So we expect to make in 60 months, in February, when we're launching our Kickstarter, to make over €1 million in revenue. And by the end of the year, we expect to make 2.5 million revenue, and in 2023 to grow into 6 million and much more with already the distribution agreements we have. And so we hope to find business partners and to make partnerships here with some people related to media, because we want to enable great media to be played on our devices and to have special promotions. This is some of the money we're looking for investors, so anyone who might be interested. We're looking for investment as well. We're closing the round by the end of the year, or €500,000. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any questions?
How are you going to reach the millions of customers around the world?
So we did already a previous Kickstarter. So we know we get 100K in revenue, investing 20K in advertising. So we're going to invest quite heavily on advertising in Kickstarter. And I also know very well the platform, since I have consulting other firms to reach Kickstarters over €2 million. So we're confident that we can make it.
Do you have enough chips?
Oh, that's a great question, yeah. Actually, we have a Qualcomm chipset. We have already some experienced people in the team, and we have Bang & Olufsen network, so we are very concerned about that, but we make sure to have the chipsets, yeah.
And the headphones themselves, is that the cooperation with 𝗪𝗁𝗀𝗿? Was that what you said?
So the electroacoustics of the new model are made by Peter Chapman, which is the ex-director of electroacoustics from 𝗪𝗁𝗀𝗿.
But you basically have designed the whole hardware part? And
everything is ours, yeah. So, everything.
Yeah.
All the designs, the patents, and everything, and also the software.
And with the patents, I mean, can you? I know 𝗏𝗂𝗃 had these ones, these neck phones.
The sound wearables, yeah.
Yeah. So what can you protect that in patents that protects your idea?
So what is special from ours is that in the new model, we have a special microspeaker on the outer side, and this one is directly pointing to your ears on the mid and high frequencies. So you can listen, and also through the software, we managed to make a non-invasive sound. And some other information I cannot provide now because we're filling the patents.
Yep.
So, but happy to share in a few months.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is 𝗏𝗏𝗀.
Hello, my name is 𝗙𝗂𝗃𝗁, and I'm CEO and co-founder of startup 𝗏𝗏𝗀. And we help video content producers and distributors to determine their target audience reactions. It's not a secret that OTT market is booming, and in 3 years, average consumer will have 5 subscriptions. So, OTT platforms, TV channels, video production companies face such difficulties as lack of tools to estimate the quality of the content, limited ways to understand real viewers' reactions, high customer acquisition cost, and high churn rate. So our solution is AI-powered platform for conducting remote research, and the research is quite simple. Video is uploaded on our platform, viewers watch it with camera turned on in natural conditions. In turn, our AI models analyze engagement, attention, eye focusing, and as a result, our clients receive automated report with more than 25 parameters that allow them to make right decision either to invest or improve the content. We have already conducted studies in North America, Europe, GCC countries, and India. And it's just a quick example of the study of testing marketing tools. It's a poster evaluation, and also trailer. We can analyze how this audience by segments, gender, and age, they receive this content. And since 2019, we have already participated in several programs from AWS and NVIDIA, and we have already raised $600,000 from venture fund and to angels. And now we are happy to be a part of MediaMotor Europe. And for the next 6 months, we are planning to enter new market, also launch SaaS application, and also preparing for the next round. We have competitors in emotion recognition and marketing research, and unlike our competitors, we are focusing on long genre of video content. For this, we do our own research in AI and cognitive psychology, and are focusing on escapism, binge watching, and empathy. Also, we care about privacy, and we do protect our content and biometric of our audience. And all this happens thanks to an amazing team. We have experience in content creation, software engineering, and research, and also have great support from our advisors. Now also we building SaaS model, but now we are working on project base with our clients. Thank you a lot.
Thank you. Any questions?
Yeah, well, who is actually your customer here?
It's OTT platforms, broadcasting companies, and creative agency also.
Yes, so you would have to, you have to, Nielsen is a competitor for you, or?
What?
Any rating company would be a competitor for you? companies that rate the TV shows or the audiences?
Yeah, we have competitors like in the US, Invoke, and also in the UK Realize. They like rate the content before the release and analyze the target audience reactions. We have, yeah, and maybe
no, I think that's okay. Thank you.
Okay, sorry, I didn't get the question.
You had a SaaS subscription, but then you have some tools. I'm watching the movie and you're measuring my results. And how does this work for the company who is buying the solution from you?
Okay, now we are working on project-based, but for the SaaS, so for example, you have you want to test your content, you upload it on our platform and define all your parameters for the target audience. We have integrated panels, and after that, all the audience participants, they receive the link, and after they just need to allow us access to the webcam and just watch. Also, we have questionnaires for them, and after that we collect all the data, analyze it, and provide the automated report.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Rumble Studio. Welcome.
Hi everyone, my name is Joris. I'm the co-founder and CTO of Rumble Studio. My CEO, English speaker, maybe you check my accent, it's a French accent. My CEO is British, but he's managing his baby, so he can't come today. At Rumble Studio, we deeply believe in audio, and in particular into the voice, the power of voice. That's why we help companies to produce audio content for marketing. You are maybe waiting for slides, but no slide is coming. I'm just going to speak today. So, the idea is that a lot of companies today want to produce audio content because the audio is booming. You have more podcast listeners every day. I don't know if you know, but in the last month, a third of the American people were listening to an episode of podcast. 25% of France, half of South Korea. More and more content, so more and more companies want to produce audio content. But there is the problem. Producing audio content is very, very expensive because people don't even know how to start. We had a lot of our potential customers on the phone and they say, what should I ask as a question? Who should be the host? Who should be the guest? Is it 20 minutes, 25 minutes? What I have to put as a content on the web before putting my podcast? So all those questions, you have to pay to get the answer. It can be human resources in-house, a freelance, an agency, but at the end, it's money, time, and effort. And you need a lot of skills, because if even you have the audio, how do you remove the silences? How do you respect the normalization sound processes you have to do to put it online? So all those questions, people can't do it if they don't have enough budget. So that's why we have Rumble Studio today. Rumble Studio is a SaaS platform where you go on, you create an account, you type in your questions if you have some, but if you don't, we provide them because we have a big databases of questions, and every new users give us the question. And once we have those questions, we send them to your guests. So your guests will receive an invitation, an email, and go on the platform. And after that, it's like a type form, like a Google form. But instead of typing text, they are going to record themselves. You record your question on your side, they record their answers on their side, and at the end, we put everything together. Question, answer, answer. We normalize, we remove the silences, we remove the repetitions. And what is the strength of Rumble Studio is because this is async, you can lose the liveliness of audio sometimes. So my PhD in AI helped us to build the algorithm to understand what people are saying. So there is the question, maybe there is a piece of answer which is lacking. So there is a follow-up question, an automatic follow-up question saying, can you tell me more? Or you were speaking too fast or too slow, or a baby was crying just behind you. Can you record again, please? So there is proactive coaching and also to get more content. So this is about getting all the audio. Once we have it, as I said, we process it, we put it online, we put it on Spotify for you, we have the analytics, and we give it to you so that you can start again. But the power of Rumble Studio is once you've been having your first questions, you can use the same questions with all your guests. Because 5 questions, you send to 1 guest, 2 guests, 10 or 1,000, it's the same for us. It's just about sending an invitation. So finally, you can repurpose your content very easily. So this is Rumble Studio. Today, we are a team of 5 and growing. We are looking for front-end developers and an AI expert to help me. My co-founder is a professional podcaster, 𝗪 Robinson, host of the VoiceTech podcast, so he's a domain expert of the podcast world. On my side, as I said, I've got a PhD in AI, so I'm able to build all the back end of the product and the front end. We have a team of marketing people, Nivelle here today, helping us to do a community management and putting our brand online, because finally what we are is a marketing company. We are here to help to give a voice to your brand. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions?
Yes. Do you have any partner customers with any commitments?
Yes. So we have customers. We have four paying customers. One of them is SoundHound. So they give us a monthly recurring revenue of less than €1,000. And with them, we are iterating on the product, which has been online for 1 year now.
Did you cover all kinds of languages? I guess not, but you covered the main languages then? Or...
So, of course, most of the AI models today are in English.
Yeah.
So the product is developed in English. But more and more, the community around AI for NLP processing and audio processing is starting to explode on other languages, like the classic ones. They say French, Spanish, and Italian. So these are the next languages to insert into the app.
It would be interesting to hear such a podcast, but I was wondering a bit about the dialogue between the guests, because can there be any dialogue at all?
Yes, so it's an interesting question. You have different kind of users on the platform. You have some people that are going to play the game, so they understand that it's a fake interview in a way, and they are going to say, oh, thank you for your questions. So if they play the game, it's fine, and that's what the AI brick is going to kick in and to improve this liveliness. But some don't, and so some people are just saying, my name is Joris, thank you for this interview, and this is a little bit flat. So this is giving us friction. That's why the AI part is going to improve this side. So it's typical for some use cases.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is Wanted TV.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Cesar. I'm here with Joel. We are the co-founders of Wanted TV. Wanted TV is a social platform for video streaming. It provides movie suggestions between friends, TV show discussions, and recommendations. So you never get stuck on trying to decide what to watch again. I really enjoy watching TV, especially after a long day. However, lately, I spend half of my TV time on searching or trying to decide. If you ever get stuck on Netflix, it's very frustrating. And this is why, on average, people spend 20 minutes every day before they can find something to watch. Half of them turn to social media for movies and TV shows, and most people would actually prefer receiving recommendations from people they know rather than their streaming services. Why do you think they turn to people they know for movies? It is simply because they can provide more relevant recommendations, and this is why we created Wanted TV. Rather than talking about it, let me show you how it works with our MVP that is live on the App Store. Every user has a personalized home screen with a unique experience. For example, you will see the recent activities of your friends, such as what they liked, rated, or watched. To address the wasted time issue, we've added a single button to get instant recommendations. For each recommendation, you can either discard it, add it to your watch list, or mark it as seen. You can also see why something was recommended to you and on which platform it is available to watch. And finally, once you find something you like, with a single tap, you can see all details about it, including its IMDb rating, its trailers, and if any of your friends liked it. Now I'm going to hand over to Joel.
Thank you, Cesar. So thanks to your friends, Wanted TV is offering a new way to get inspired and decide what to watch. And this is something big players haven't tapped into yet. Because today, we are still looking at Netflix for our own personalized recommendations, IMDb for ratings and trailers, and we're still suggesting friends to each other on WhatsApp or Facebook. But thanks to Wanted TV, you will have all of that in one place only. The application is and will be free to use, and we will generate revenue through affiliate marketing, which is a $15 billion business globally, but we'll also be in a unique position to offer target advertisement by promoting new movies, like YouTube is doing today by showing you trailers. So the right trailer for the right audience. And finally, with partnerships, we want to offer the integration of our recommendation system to video streaming platforms. So we'll be targeting those millennials that are heavy users of social media through 3 main channels. The first one is direct reach on those online spaces that they're using today for video recommendations. Then brand awareness by creating and promoting original content such as watch lists. And finally, with partnerships, we want to access to the large and established customer pools. For example, here in Norway, you could get your own personalized recommendation based on your friends on your 𝗏 service. So far we've been trusted by 2 accelerators, surveying more than 500 different potential customers, and we took all of that feedback and iterated several times on our MVP. You can see on the graph below the type of hard tractions we got from our latest MVP iteration back in February, with a steady growth in user registrations. So today we're about to soft launch our product and on track to get to product market fit by fine-tuning the product and applying our user acquisition strategy. We then want to expand to other platforms such as Android, but more importantly, smart TVs, because they're central to the TV experience these days. And finally, with partnerships, we want to further extend our reach. So this is our team, which is so far composed of Cesar and myself. We both have experience in global and media companies, such as 𝗪𝘂𝗫 and BBC, and we also have onboarded 2 advisors for strategic and media expertise.
We are currently raising our first seed round and looking for partners. If you're interested in, please come and find us. You can download the app by scanning this QR code, and thank you.
Thank you. Questions from the jury?
Yeah, I'm just a little bit curious on how are you going to kind of test that your application and your development is heading in the right direction? And you said already you've done 3 iterations, but how are you going to make sure that you keep on a successful path?
So we've got 100 weekly active users, or our early adopters, and what we do is with each iteration, we go and talk to them and receive the feedback and do the iteration and release a new version. So the idea is finding product market fit with this small, tuning the engine, and find it to basically find the secret sauce.
And just to add on that, so what we want to integrate is a feedback loop inside of the application. So the core functionality of the app is to provide you personalized recommendations. So we want to be able to retrieve feedback on those recommendations to know if they were useful to you. That's something we're going to actively ask to the users, but that's also something we can measure because we offer you the possibility to store to watch list, to recommend to friends. So we can build a lot of relevant metrics to know if the recommendations that we were giving to you were useful and were used inside of the application.
Where do you get the content from, or how do you get the content, the information about the movies or series or all that?
So we are currently using a third-party API maintained by public, so we can also maintain it, add new movies and content. So the idea in the future, partnering up with streaming providers or any providers to get the content directly, so we don't have the dependency on this third party.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And last but not least, 𝗀𝘂𝗄 Digital.
Hi everyone, my name is Elena, and good news, we're almost done for today. At 𝗀𝘂𝗄 Digital, we work to make sure and help photographers and other independent content creators to regain control of their work. How? By making sure that copyrights are easy to check and prove. Today practically everyone is a content creator, with millions of photos, videos, and blog posts created and published every day. In theory, all this work protected by the very moment it's created. I'm a little bit shorter, so I'll do this. Right, so in theory, every photo, video, and blog post are created by copyright from the moment of creation, according to the law. But the reality is different. If you look at the photography market, for example, about 80% of the photos published daily end up being stolen and misused without their author's permission. When we publish a photo or video, our content frequently gets copied, republished, probably altered, and as a result, the connection between the author, the creator, and the creative work disappears. This leads to the fact that most of the content we can see online, user-generated content, has no authorship verification, no copyright attribution. Ultimately, content creators cannot fairly monetize their work, and people looking for the content online find it challenging to content original creator behind the work and license it directly from them. The good news now is the right time to change the market. With the EU copyright directive coming into place, platforms will become liable for copyright infringement, which means not only independent creators, but also platforms and buyers will become interested in legally acquiring visual content directly from creators. Well, the second reason is unfortunate international COVID crisis, which left many people unemployed both in Europe and globally, and those people are looking for additional revenue streams which digital market provides. With 𝗀𝗄 content management tool, we enable content creators to protect their work with legally binding digital copyright statements based on equipment verification and set their own terms under which others can access and use their work. With the launch of P2P marketplace, we'll enable direct licensing from the original creators, secure and safe. Our solution will come under subscription, free subscription types, depending on the content creator's needs. And with the launch of the marketplace, we'll also charge a modest fee of 7% per licensing transaction. 𝗀𝗄 solution has potential to create the entirely new segment within digital asset management market, as well as disrupt the established market of stock photography and emerging market on NFTs. We have three things to offer which none of the competitors on those markets have: content authorship verification, legally binding digital copyright statement, and permanent, secure, decentralized storage. So far, we did a pilot for professional photographers, as those are probably the most in need of copyright protection. The professional photography gets stolen frequently, extremely frequently. And we also work with professional photographers to recruit them as ambassadors for our solution. So later on, we can use word of mouth as our main marketing effort. At the moment, we are gathering feedback and improving our solution to launch our beta early next year. Currently, we have over 100 professional photographers in our waiting list for the beta launch, and we estimate to have the first 300 customers, paying customers, in a year's time. Currently, we're looking for 750 cases to support our beta launch and further development for the next 18 months. We are also open for partnership. Well, here's our team. I am one of the co-founders with a background in media communication and regulation. And my co-founder is, well, full-stack developer with, who also a professional photographer. So that's yet another reason why we started with the photography market, because we understand it quite well. Our focus currently on a strong development team and growing the community. And, well, we all believe that the market of creative content should be changed for better. Please join us and get in touch. Thank you.
Thank you, Elena. Any questions from the jury?
That's all.
It's, of course, that's the real problem you're going after there. And it would be interesting to know a lot more. But the quick question is, how do the users of the content access and find the copyrighted content? Or is that the direct relationship between the content owner and buyer?
If I got the question correctly, so, well, initially we start with content creators and we provide them a content management tool. But directly from 𝗀𝗄 application, 𝗀𝗄 content management tool, they can share the content with a unified link at any place on the internet. So it's discoverable, it can be on Facebook, Twitter, or personal blog, whatever not. But the thing is that the content is shared with a unique link, which we call unified link, and therefore it contains the information about the initial creator. And then it enables people who stumble upon this content to contact them directly, which will lead them to the platform where they can license that via P2P transaction. Thank you.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, now it's time for deliberation, so we'll give the jury 5 minutes to finalize, gather their thoughts and their notes and their calculations. So we'll wait here 5 minutes, and then we'll come back and they will announce the big winner. Yes, so we're back, and we finally know who the winner is. So we're not going to make you wait too long. One of our jury members, Odd, will announce who the winner is, but first will tell us who got the 3rd place and the 2nd place, because we still want to give out some goodies out. So, Odd?
You gave us a real hard job today. Every pitch was incredibly good, and you all solved real problems that are present in today's media world. We gave high score for most of the companies. Each company, we see that you have the right to be in this program. We all agreed, the judges, that this is too short time to deserve a really well-funded evaluation. But we have 3 winners. Number 3 is Circular.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Number 2 is QuestPass.
AI beer.
And number 1 is 𝗲𝗂𝗪𝗀. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thanks. Donc, merci, tac, all that. Gracias. Happy about winning the pitch. Happy to be part of Media City Bergen for the next 2 years, right? I'll have to come back over here and take a cruise on the fjord next time. And yeah, happy to win because a lot of my colleagues from the MME cohort had fantastic pitches, great ideas, things that will shake the media industry. So honored to be here today and I've won the prize. Thanks.
Do you want to explain something about the membership? Okay.
And beers.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much. It's now the end of the pitching contest. We're really glad that you were able to make it here and pitch. I hope it was good practice, good experience, and that you will take the opportunity the coming days to network, to meet people in these events. So I'm closing the event now. I just want to tell the startups to not go too far because we would like to take a group picture on the stage after the event. So thank you all and enjoy your week. Bye.